big time. I thought that we just had a really good team, and I thought the way that we prepared was better than anybody else. We were a young team, but we were really fast, and we believed in ourselves. And we played them in the preseason. We played well, and we thought we could play a great game.
How about a parent? Is there a parent with a question? Yes, ma'am.
She asked me how much does faith have to do with my success. You know, for me, I would say it has pretty much everything to do with my success. You know, I think that for me personally, God's brought me through a lot, good times and bad. You know, He's given me a huge right hand for some odd reason, and a big right arm, even though I'm 5'11", and I can throw it on the money when I need to. And I think for me, I just trust that, you know, He's going to be on time. You know, I never worry. I never worry about anything. I never worry about situations. I believe that it's going to work out because He's got a plan for me, you know, whatever that may be. And so I've been truly blessed to be able to experience that.
Right here, young man, right here.
He asked me why I left NC State. I played football and baseball here at NC State. I graduated in 3 years. I went to grad school. I had the tremendous gift to play baseball professionally too. And it was just one of those things that, you know, my coach at the time, he thought that I either had to just play football or I had to leave NC State. And so, you know, I didn't want to give up on baseball yet. So I had to pursue my dreams, and I wasn't going to let anybody tell me no. I'd already graduated from an awesome school at NC State. I was in grad school here for business at NC State, and then I transferred to Wisconsin because I could play right away because I graduated early. So it was still a good thing for me, even though, you know, even though I didn't want to leave. You know, it's one of those things that it worked out for me in the end.
All right, right here. Stand up.
About 4 more questions. Nice and loud. How much what? How much pressure did I feel going in the NFL draft? For me, going in the NFL draft, I've been drafted 2 times in baseball already. So I got drafted in high school, out of high school in baseball, turned it down. Then I got drafted in college too. And I decided to do it. I decided to play 2 sports, football and baseball. And so when football came around, I didn't sense any pressure. I knew what a draft was like. I knew that you may get picked early, you may get picked late, you may get picked right on time. It was one of those things that, like I said earlier, I just believed that God was going to work it out for me. And so for me, you know, in terms of the pressure, I felt like I had already put the work in on the field. And if it was going to work out for me, it was going to work out, you know. And whatever team picked me, I was going to make the 31 others regret it. And that's what I told myself.
Touch on student athlete, the importance of student athlete.
In terms of being a student athlete, I think that's really important. You know, my parents both talked to me a lot about my education and about how important that was for me, and how important that was in my life long term. You know, it's not just about football. At any point, I could get hurt and never play again. That won't happen to me, I don't believe. But at the same time, you know, it's not even about getting hurt. It's even if I do great, even if I do extremely well, it's not. I want to be able to have a mind to be able to go into a situation and communicate. I want to be able to process things. I want to be able to run a business one day. I want to be a leader. I want to be able to change the world in some way. And being educated allows you to do a lot of different things. And so I believe that learning to be educated, learning to get my education first, and learning to put school first most of the time. Not all the time. I didn't do that all the time, you know, but most of the time allowed me to learn how to be a great football player too. I learned about being organized. I learned about being determined and being disciplined in my work, and learned about how to do things right at the right time. And what that allows you to do is when you step out into the field, you don't have any worries. You know your stuff. You know how to study. You know how to learn. You know how to be successful, not just on the football field, but also in the classroom and also off the field. You know how to communicate with certain people and network, and that's what a lot of life is about. And so I learned that at a young age, and my parents continue to push me. And if you don't have parents that are like that, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You know, I believe that, you know, I was very blessed to have parents that, we didn't have a ton of money or anything like that. But what we did have was I had parents that were very educated. My dad went to Dartmouth. My dad went to UVA Law School. My mom went to UVA. I had parents that were very, very big into education, and they led me. But if you don't have those parents, if you don't have those parents, you can still do the same things, you know. 2 more. he asked me, how does it feel to win the first Super Bowl ever in Seahawks history? It feels pretty sweet, to be honest with you. To win the first Super Bowl in a franchise history, it's a pretty special thing. I mean, the city of Seattle, you guys have probably never been to Seattle or anything like that, but it's one of the prettiest places, in America, and it's one of those places that everybody loves. It's one of those places where the fans are absolutely nuts. I mean, we 70,000 some people, and it's the loudest place you could ever be. And everybody's so dedicated to the game. I have some great teammates. J.R. Sweezy back there. Sweezy. He's back there.
He's in the shade right now.
He's in the shade. Big man's in the shade.
Where is he? I can't see him.
Sweezy.
Is he coming over here? Yeah. Hello. So you can stay there, Sweet. You can stay there. Sweet. You can stay there. Sweet.
I want to come and say hi.
You can stand there.
Come down.
Easy. Hey, so this is J.R. Sweezy. He's the guy that protects me. He plays right guard. He used to play defense at NC State. He never played. So, how you guys are learning how to play different positions, today for the most part, it's really good because he played defense his whole entire life. He never played offense before. And so when we drafted him to play offensive guard. And this dude, he was dedicated to his craft. He works hard in the weight room. He studies. He takes notes. He's one of the first guys there, one of the last guys to leave. And he just went all for it. And he believed that if he was going to take an opportunity to be successful, he's going to do everything he could, mentally and physically and spiritually, just give his all. And he's honestly, not trying to blow up his head, but he's one of the best guards in football right now. Right guard, he plays right guard. So, and he's just played. This is going to be his third year ever playing guard. So, you guys learning how to play different positions, you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to be coachable and be able to learn and translate and pick up new things and just love the game of football. This guy loves the game of football, and he loves beating up people. And so, so it's fun playing with him. And so, winning the first Super Bowl ever in Seahawks history is pretty cool to win with this guy.
Good job.
Two more. One more parent. One more parent.
There a parent question? Yes, sir.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. I can't answer that. But I'll tell you, we'll give it our all, man.
What's he say? Russell.
Last one.
Russell. It's a yes or no question. Are you going to the Super Bowl next year? It's a yes or no.
He asked me. Okay, listen. So he asked me what was my biggest motivation. He asked me my biggest motivation going into training camp my rookie year. That's a good question because you guys listening? You guys listening? Okay, so I believe for me, I believe Sweets is the same way. You have to be a self-motivator in life. If you want to do something great where it lasts forever, you have to be a self-motivator. Yeah, I had my parents push me. I had my parents talk to me about education. I had my parents talk to me about doing this and doing that. And I had my parents take me to play AAU baseball and take me to play Little League football and take me to play basketball. And I had great friends and I had all those people, right? But if you want to do something special one day, you have to be, no matter what everybody else thinks, good, bad, and different. If they like you, don't like you, whatever. I think that number one, you have to treat people right. You have to respect people. Number two, you have to respect yourself. And number three, you have to respect the game. And so I think for me, I've always respected the game of football. I never let it get too big. I believe that I try to do all the fundamentals right. I try to do every little detail so right that when I go in the game, my habits are so good that it can't be broken. And if something happens, I can adjust on the fly and try to make something happen. And sometimes I'm good and sometimes I'm not, but hopefully more times I'm better than not. And then in terms of respecting yourself, I believe that you have to respect yourself and know what you want to do in life and figure that out. I knew at a young age I wanted to play professional sports, but just in case it didn't work, I also knew that I wanted to get my education so I could do whatever I wanted to do. And so for me, I knew I wanted to be successful in a lot of different ways, and so I just took advantage of every opportunity I had. I had a full scholarship to go to NC State, which is a true blessing. I didn't have to pay for school, and so I remember talking to my dad and making a promise to him that I was going to graduate in 3 years. I would do everything I could to use that education for good and use that financial help for good. And so it allowed me to kind of move ahead in my life, you know, to do things kind of earlier than most. And I think the other thing is just respecting others. I think that a lot of life is being able to network and treat people right. And when you treat others right, you get respect back. And sometimes people won't like it. Some people won't like you either way, and you know that's part of it. But at the same time, I think that when you respect others, you learn how to serve, and you learn how to give back, and those people end up helping you. Okay, so listen, this is what we're gonna do. That's the last question. So this is what we're gonna do. So all the kids, coaches, I need you guys to funnel the kids back, and we're gonna start playing some games and stuff on the field. I believe. So listen, you got water and Gatorade waiting for you up there. Make sure you get some. It's hot. Everybody, and then parents, follow behind in a couple minutes.
Woo!